Hello and welcome back to Lawrence Live. I'm Dr. Sean Smith, and I'm so excited today. I have with me Lawrence Central High School senior Cameron McGrone, senior football player who's joining us today. Cameron,
yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I have watched a lot of your football games, young man, and I have really and thoroughly enjoyed watching you as a student athlete. Let's first of all talk about this jersey. Why do you have that jersey on, young man?
Well, let's see. Late June, I was invited to the Army All-American game, and that's a game played in San Antonio. In front of 40,000 people on live TV on NBC. And it was a great opportunity for me to, definitely get my family's name out there and, honor my grandfather because he was a veteran. But yeah, like I played in this game January 6th. It was a great time.
It was a great time, and I got to watch it. It was over the winter break, and so we're so proud of you having that achievement, and that's obvious because of your work on the football field. Talk about this season. Talk about some of the honors you had, because I pick up the newspaper and you're all county, and what honors you get this year in the state of Indiana?
Yeah, like the all county, all conference, all state. What else? Like I won like Mr. Football Position Award winner for linebackers. Stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, like
pretty humbled, isn't he?
Awards, but
right.
Like my goal into the season was just like help prepare my team, to bigger heights, to more wins, and like I feel like we did that. Like, even though our season ended earlier than we wanted it to, I still feel like we made a big impact, in the MIC, like in one of the hardest conferences in the nation. I was really glad of what we did this year.
You want to play Ben Davis again?
Yes, just one more time.
I like
one
that.
More time.
I do. Well, Cameron, a lot of people, just not sports, but talk about what does it take. If you're out there talking to all of your young colleagues out there about football, what does it take to get to this level? What did you have to do?
Right. Well, grind. You gotta love to grind. You gotta love to work hard. Love to be tired. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. But really, like, the main part of this was my family. Just taking me to all these camps, all these college visits, and like that constant support every single day. Like I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't be here without my family behind me the whole time. So yeah.
You're saying it's just not just the gifts of being a great athlete. You actually have to work at it.
Yeah.
What about a student athlete? You're a good student, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty decent.
Pretty decent. You're going to work hard, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Talk about that. What's required of you to gain a college scholarship? What have you had to do in the classroom?
Right. Well, like you could be the best athlete in the world, but if you don't have the grades, you're not going to go anywhere. And, like before I really started getting, pretty well known in sports, like I was, hard working in the classroom every day. Like I still am, but, like that's really the backbone of all of this, like take honors classes, AP classes, and excel in those. And then, like once college coaches start coming around and see how, intelligent you are in the classroom, like that's a lot more attractive than just being, or excelling on the field.
Absolutely. You did so well in the classroom and on the football field, you've been offered a scholarship to the University of Michigan.
Yes, sir.
What are your future plans, Cameron?
I'm hoping to get direct admittance into the School of Kinesiology, and I'm pretty close to that. They just have to look at my second semester grades right now. And then hopefully, go through that, and then become a physical therapist, to help people who have had, like traumatic injuries like myself. I tore my ACL at the end of last year, and I just want to help kids and, adults get back to better than what they were before.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have an outstanding student here in our district. I'm really proud of you, Cameron.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
I appreciate that.
I've watched you on the field, but I think what I'm most impressed with you is how hard you work and what you've done in the classroom. I followed you, young man. I have. And I think the audience out there needs to know how proud we are of him. This is an outstanding student athlete, has done a great job representing our district, and the entire community is going to wish him well as he moves on to the University of Michigan, where I'm expecting for you to graduate and come back and see me. You promise me?
For sure, yes.
You promise me?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Promise.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cameron McGrone, and thank you for watching this segment of Lawrence Live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this segment of Lawrence Live. This time I'm joined by our Director of Curriculum, Instruction, Professional Development, and Data. It's a long title.
It is.
It's a very long title. This is Mr. Troy Noderer, a very important person to our district as he oversees all the academic side of our school corporation. Thank you, Mr. Noderer, for joining me.
Thank you.
Mr. Noderer, let's start off the season. Since we're in the month of February, March, Let's talk about iStep. What can we expect coming up for the iStep test?
It is the season of iStep, the season of testing, and actually the season begins on February the 26th, and it's the first part of iStep, which is the open-ended applied skills portion. So this is where students are writing, this is where they're solving math problems and putting in their work into the computer system. Our 5th grade through 10th grade are all online. Our 3rd and 4th graders will do it paper pencil. So that's the first step. Then there's a second round of iStep that begins April the 16th, and that's the multiple choice portion of iStep. And so students will have passages that they're reading and then choosing from 4 different choices, the one that they think is the best. They'll also have mathematical applications that they're working through, again, with multiple choice to answer
So
from.
this is a big deal, Mr. Noder, and it covers, what you just mentioned, covers which grade levels? 3 through 8?
So we have 3 through 8 that take iStep, and then students in grades 10, and also our freshmen in biology also take
So
an iStep
almost
test.
all the students in the district are somewhere going to be engaged in some form of standardized test. Those test scores lead to what for us, Mr. Noder?
So those test scores and students' performance and their growth from the previous year all go into our school accountability. And in the state of Indiana, our school accountability is measured by letter grades.
Yes.
And so letter grades are calculated based on student pass rate for iStep as well as student growth rate for
Well,
iStep.
very important, and I know that our 1,000 teachers and our 16,000 students have been working very hard
Yes, they
to
have.
improve their academic performance, and that is very important to the district. But Mr. Noder, as our director in this area and overall academics, you have a lot of fun. You work with a lot of different areas. Share some of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis for our audience out there.
So on a day-to-day basis, I'm working with all things academics, and that begins with curriculum work. So right now we're working with 3 different teams of teachers that are revamping their curriculum, looking at new resources that will prepare students for the new economy. So our social studies teachers are going through that process, world language teachers, and our performing arts teachers. So lots of curriculum work for secondary, curriculum work for the elementary, aligning our standards to the tests that we just talked about to make sure that our students are prepared and ready to go. We're also working on instructional practices that will prepare our students for the new economy.
Absolutely.
We know that standardized testing is an important part of what we do, but we also know that students have to have a certain skill set to be work ready, to be college ready. And that skill set is different now than it was even just a few years ago. And so we have several initiatives in our district that are leading us towards helping our students become more work ready and college ready for the new economy.
That is outstanding, Mr. Noder. We have great initiatives in this district. We have great innovations, and a lot of those have come directly from the work that we do here. Talk about what you and your team are working on right now in this district that our audience would say, wow, that's great.
So we are driven by a strategic plan that was developed through a collaborative process with about 150 community members, parents and teachers and administrators and business partners in higher ed. And there's really 3 areas that have come out of that strategic plan that we're focused on. The first is the need to increase our instructional rigor in all of our classes and really defining rigor as student-centered instruction, moving away from teachers being the dispenser of knowledge to students discovering, students grappling, students problem solving, defending claims, and developing those skills collaboratively with their classmates to be able to take it to the next level. So that's one. A second is our focus around bilingual education. It's really clear in our community that our community values bilingual education, and so we are expanding our opportunities for students to have bilingual education as early as our kindergarten. So we have kindergarten and 1st grade classrooms that are bilingual Spanish and English. We're opening a new program at Skiles Test that's a combination of Spanish immersion, where students will be learning Spanish, and STEM, combining with their STEM magnet focus. And so that'll be open for kindergarten and 1st grade next year. Another piece that we're working on that will begin rolling out over the summer is a STEM for All initiative.
Yes.
I've mentioned the new economy, and we know that STEM skills, the skills of science and technology, engineering and math, are where the jobs are right now. And so we've got to make sure that our students are being prepared with a STEM education as early as our early learning centers all the way through elementary, and then into our secondary.
Absolutely. Mr. Noter, it sounds like you're very busy.
We are.
We are
We're
very
doing
busy.
great things.
And there's a lot that goes into what we do in the classroom. And ladies and gentlemen, this man has an entire team that works with him, and he works with all of our principals, and all of our teachers in the district are committed to academic excellence. And so I want to thank you, Mr. Noter, for joining us and sharing the innovation and sharing the work that you do. And I want to say to our students and families, we know that we have outstanding programs in this district, and we want our students to be prepared, like you said, Mr. Noter, for the new economy. And we're going to make sure that you have the very best academic programs. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this segment of Lawrence Live, and we'll see you next time.